The Honda WRV was introduced in India back in 2017. It was designed and developed to cater to the demands of Indian customers. It's no secret it's based on the Jazz hatchback. In fact, it's meant to better its proposition with a crossover styling. Today, we are testing its latest iteration with BS6 updates and changes both inside and outside. The WRV is shorter than 4 meters in length, so avails all sub 4 meter benefits in our country. Up front, the distinctive yet busy styling continues with a new grille with horizontal slats and a chrome insert. There are new LED projector headlamps, integrated DRLs and LED fog lamps as well. Its side profile remains unchanged and so does the rear, save for the new C-shaped LED tail lamps. The silver skid plates, black cladding, 16-inch alloys and higher ground clearance than the Jazz help it give that beefed up appeal. Now inside, you have this tilt and telescopic steering wheel and adjustments for these supportive seats that give you a good driving position. And with the high seating, you have a good view of the road ahead. The dash continues with these hard plastics and it still reminds you of the Jazz with its design and layout. It's well laid out though, with many cubby holes for storage and even controls easily within reach. Also, there's this 2.0 version of Honda's DigiPad with a 7-inch touchscreen infotainment system. It's compatible with Android Auto and Apple CarPlay and gets many customization options. This time around, it feels much better with good feedback and response times. Given the tall and wide stance of the car, we know the interior is spacious, and that you can see here. In fact, it's one of the most spacious ones that can fit 3 like me. Still, we would have loved the rear seat if it provided more under-thigh support and had got adjustable headrests. Long journeys would then have been even more comfortable. Then, the second row occupants are also going to complain about no separate aircon vents, a center armrest and a charging port. And if you're a previous gen Jazz owner like me, there are things you will miss in this car, especially the magic seats that added so much of versatility. This one here doesn't even get a 60-40 split. Otherwise, a 363-liter boot is good enough to hold your weekend trip luggage. Apart from these small features that are missing, it still continues to be packed with a lot of equipment in these top-end versions. Its USP continues to be this automatic AC with a touchscreen panel and a one-touch electric sunroof. People who are aware of the HDMI port in the earlier model, it's now replaced by an additional USB port given the need of users these days. Even on the safety front, it continues to get airbags for the driver and the front passenger, ABS with EBD, a multi-view rear camera and rear parking sensors among others. The WRV continues to get the 1.2-litre iVTEC petrol and 1.5-litre IDTEC diesel engine options that we'd seen on the Jazz. These are now BS6 compliant, and this here is the diesel unit. This diesel motor with its low friction aluminium construction produces 98 bhp and 200 Nm of torque. It comes mated to a 6-speed manual gearbox. Honda has improved the NVH levels, and with the AC and stereo on, the engine noise is more muffled. That said, you can still hear the diesel clatter, and it gets more prominent at higher revs. Good thing is that this seldom will happen even if this has a lower rev limiter at 4000 rpm. All thanks to the strong power on tap even in the low rev range. There's so much of usable torque coming in linearly that you can easily go all day long at 1500 rpm. This tractable engine responds well to throttle inputs and you'll hardly find yourself shifting gears too often. Do you know why this diesel is so popular? Because it has always been so fuel efficient, and this one now has a claimed fuel economy of 23.7 km to a litre. As compared to its BS4 counterpart, this has actually dipped by around 1.7 km per litre. But that again doesn't make it any less frugal. Thanks to the great drivability, you will mostly be operating at lower RPMs and saving fuel. Furthermore, the 6th gear acts as an overdrive on the highway, improving fuel efficiency even more. What you will also appreciate is how easy and light the controls are. The clutch is surprisingly light for a diesel, and the gear shifts, though a little rubbery, are still smooth. Whenever you steer the car, it responds well through a nicely weighted steering. Its compact footprint enables it to go around corners with poise as well. But there's some amount of body roll due to the soft suspension, which otherwise imparts it an impressive ride quality. Even if you miss a certain speed breaker or a pothole, it doesn't go crashing through it. It has a soft edge and isolates broken roads and rough patches well. This does mean you miss a relatively flat ride on the highway, but it strikes a good balance in between. The WRV looks quite different. It is stylish, but it still doesn't have the road presence that an SUV commands. It might be a concern for people expecting it, but otherwise it remains to be quite a good package. The ex-showroom pricing starts from Rs 8.5 lakh for the petrol SV variant and goes up to Rs 11 lakh for this top-spec VX diesel trim. That's pricey, but customers in the past have accepted the premium they pay over the Jazz, as Honda has already sold 1 lakh units of this model.